Mr. Speaker, how can the Prime Minister justify the invasion of the privacy of 1 million Canadians by his government?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I obviously don't accept the premise of that question, but what we do understand, Mr. Speaker, is that various Canadian investigative law enforcement and other agencies will, from time to time, request information from telecom companies. They always do this, Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the law. They always seek a warrant when they are required to do so. And, of course, we expect the telecom companies to also respect the law in all of their dealings.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Est-ce que le Premier ministre est en train de nous dire qu'il trouve ça normal que la vie privée d'1 million de Canadiens soit envahie par son gouvernement? Est-ce qu'il est en train de justifier l'injustifiable?
Je n'accepte pas cette déclaration, mais la réalité est que les agences de la loi, de la police et des autres agences de la loi cherchent de temps en temps des informations selon leurs droits. Ils cherchent toujours des mandats de perquisition quand il est demandé par la loi. Et évidemment, Monsieur le Président, on s'attend aussi que des compagnies de télécommunications respectent aussi ces obligations. I should also mention, Mr. Speaker, that we are aware that there has been considerable evolution since in the marketplace since these privacy laws were passed a decade ago, and there is legislation before Parliament now. I encourage all parties to focus on that.
Yes, there's actually legislation to exculpate the companies that provide the information. He's trying to make it easier for the telecommunications companies to provide that information. Is the Prime Minister trying to say to Canadians that this invasion of 1 million Canadians' privacy was justified by search warrant? I just want to make sure that we all understand that that is indeed what the Prime Minister is trying to convince us of.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Again, Mr. Speaker, I don't accept the premise of that question. What we do say, Mr. Speaker, is that privacy laws are respected by the government. Law enforcement and other investigative agencies always seek warrants when they're required to do so, Mr. Speaker, and there's independent surveillance, independent oversight to make sure that these laws are respected. I should point out, Mr. Speaker, the proposals in the Digital Privacy Act before Parliament require organizations to tell Canadians if their personal information has been lost or stolen, to impose fines of up to $100,000 on those who deliberately break the rules, place stricter limits on the type of personal information that can be disclosed, and many other reforms.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
This has nothing whatsoever to do with information that is lost or stolen. As for the premise of the question, it was based on what the Prime Minister just said himself, that there were warrants in all these cases. And I ask him again to confirm what he was saying, that this is based on warrants.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, telecommunications companies obviously do cooperate with law enforcement and other authorities from time to time in various investigations and surveillance. When information is required to be handed over according to a warrant, our law enforcement agencies do that, and as I said, Mr. Speaker, there is independent oversight to ensure that is done.
What information is the government seeking and why? And which telecommunications companies are handing over that information and which are refusing to do it?
Once again, Mr. Speaker, the issues in question would be those of investigative authorities ranging from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Canada Border Services Agency and others. It's not the government that requests information, Mr. Speaker. It is independent law enforcement agencies that do that. The government is not involved in those investigations. Rather, there is independent oversight on those matters.